Namaste and welcome to the first of what I hope will be many yoga classes that you and I can share together. This is an opportunity for me to continue to, as the Buddhist wisdom says, teach what I must learn. There are so many wonderful facets of yoga that have benefited my life, and I would like to continue to share those with you. So thank you for being here. As some of you know, I just recently relocated to Colorado, and as with any major life transition, whether it's a change in relationship status, a change in location, a change in a job, all of these things can tend to leave us feeling very scattered and very unable to focus and just kind of everywhere. So one of my most favorite practices is a grounding practice, staying close to the earth, working on strength, because that helps to get us out of the flighty mind and into the earth element within us, which is strong, stable, and secure. So I invite you to grab a blanket so that you can sit on that, help to lift your spine nice and tall, grab your blocks and whatever other props that you choose to use, and let's begin. Taking a few nice deep breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Let your belly become soft. Let your shoulders relax down with each exhale. Let there become more space in between the inhale and exhale, stretching your breath as long and as wide as possible. Begin to feel the space in your body, your heart, and in your mind. As we move forward into our grounding practice this afternoon, I invite you to think about the color red, visualizing a bright cherry red at the base of your spine, signifying Muladhara, which is the root chakra. This is our energy center that signifies our belongingness. When we are in balance in this energy center, we feel strong, we feel secure and stable, like the earth element. And so as we are inspired by the earth and its support beneath us, we move gently through our practice, embodying these elements to provide a stable foundation for our life. As we breathe in this intention, let us seal this intention with one singular chant of Om. Inhaling. Om. Releasing the arms. Let's begin with a gentle spinal flexion here to loosen up the spine. We're going to come into a seated cat and cow. Inhaling with the hands on the knees, we're going to draw that heart center forward, drawing the shoulder blades back, lifting the chin slightly. Exhale, draw that heart back inward as we round the spine and drop the chin. Inhaling, drawing the heart forward. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. Continuing at your own pace. Let it feel good. Dropping the shoulders down and back. It's like we're massaging the spine. squeezing out all the tension. The spine is where all of our nerves flow out of into all the different organs. So when it becomes tight and there's a lot of tension along the spine, we may feel that elsewhere in the body. Inhaling and exhaling. One more. Inhaling and exhaling, rounding the spine. Beautiful. From here, inhaling, coming back up to a neutral spine. Let's come into a lateral flexion, opening up the sides of the body. We're going to take the arms out to the sides. Inhaling, we're going to lift that left arm up and over. Reaching with that left arm, we're going to press down at the left hip, stretching the rib cage wide, and then inhaling, coming all the way back up to center. Good. The other side, inhaling, right arm up, exhaling here. Then reach, press that hip down, and exhale, coming back up. Good. Continuing at your own pace. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling here, then inhaling, breathe space in between each rib, and exhaling. Good. One more on each side. Inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling here, and exhaling. Good. Last time, inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling here, and exhaling, coming back to center. Good. Last of the 6 motions of the spine, we're going to come into a gentle twist, utilizing the exhale as the power in the twist, wringing ourselves out of any unresolved tension, physically or emotionally. So with the arms out to the side, we're inhaling, reaching the arms skyward, exhaling, twisting to the right. One hand lands in front, the other behind, as we draw the spine into the body. Good. Inhaling, back up to center, and exhaling. Inhaling, and exhaling. Inhaling, exhale fully. Draw that navel towards the spine. Feel that your inner fire is being stoked. And exhaling. Feel the weight of your hips into the floor, feeling the gentle support of the earth underneath you. Inhaling, last time, and exhaling. Inhaling, and exhaling. Good. Inhaling, reaching the arms skyward. Exhaling, drawing that wisdom down into the heart space. Pausing here for a moment. And releasing. Good. Let's continue on now. We're going to move to all fours, swinging the legs around. I invite you to use a blanket underneath your knees for additional cushioning. Likewise, if we're taking care of our wrists, we're going to use fists for wrists. Or we can spread those hands wide, right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're lengthening the sternum forward. Inhale, let's come into cow as we offer the heart forward, tailbone lifts up and back. And exhale, rounding the spine, drawing the navel up and in. Good. Inhaling. And exhaling. Continuing on at your own pace, closing your eyes if you like, really breathing into the movement. Feeling that your hands are pressing and plugging into the earth, drawing up that root energy. And this time exhaling, rounding the spine, drawing the seat back to the heels, coming into child's pose. Here we can leave the arms outstretched, or we can stack the fists under the forehead. If that's not comfortable, we can choose to come forward a little bit onto the forearms, gently pressing away into the earth, letting the head relax completely. I'm going to choose to come back into child's pose. Breathe deeply here. Let your breath fill the back body. Breathing into the rib cage, and on the exhale, release. Maybe even exhaling out the mouth. In this wisdom pose, we allow ourselves the permission to come back to child's pose whenever needed, to take a break, to reconnect with the earth and our grounding. Child's pose is a wonderful grounding pose. It can help with all of those feelings of anxiousness and flightiness, particularly after flying or any form of travel, or if you just had a really frenetic day. Child's pose is wonderful. One more inhale here, and exhale. Good. Now inhaling, drawing forward, coming into kneeling plank. So the hips are in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips, long straight line, heart is open. Inhaling here and exhaling, drawing the hips back into child's pose. We're going to flow with the breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling forward and exhaling. Now we can inhale forward, choosing to stay here, or adding a mini chaturanga, shining the light forward out of the sternum, bending the elbows at 90 degrees, exhale, pressing back up and back to child's pose. And then inhaling forward, choosing to stay here or lowering. Good. Maybe you only go an inch, that's okay. It's all about building up the arm strength and feeling the power in your core. Keep the elbows really close to the rib cage here. One more time, inhaling, staying here or lowering. Exhale, pressing up and back, coming back into child's pose. Feel all of that tingling energy, awakening in the arms. Exhale. Feel your support underneath you as you plug into the earth and surrender. Now from here, we're going to inhale, coming up to all fours. We've got a couple of options here. We've got an option of coming into puppy dog, which is like a kneeling downward facing dog. So we're going to walk the hands out, so you can see that. Okay? And then we're going to just allow the spine to draw in towards the body. The hips are right above the knees. You can also come onto your forearms if you need a little bit of support, and the forehead can rest onto the earth. Good. The other option is, if we're ready, coming into a full plank, body's in a straight line, we're going to prepare for downward facing dog. Bending the knees slightly and pushing the earth away from us. Keep those knees bent as much as needed so that you can really let that spine elongate. Hips are lifted to the sky. Once we're here, we can begin to pedal the heels one at a time. Gently lengthening out through the backs of the legs. Pressing both heels towards the earth, staying here in down dog or in puppy dog. And then bending the knees slightly. We're going to gently walk those feet forward, however you get there. Bend the knees again here as deeply as you can so that you can let the spine pour forward into the crown of the head. Forward folds are very, very calming for the nervous system, a wonderful grounding pose. It's not necessary to get a full length from the back of the legs. You can bend those knees as much as you need to. When we are working towards lengthening, we want to lift from the hips rather than pushing back with the knees. Let your spine relax, shoulders relax. And then inhaling, slowly reversing the swan dive, coming all the way up. And exhaling into Tadasana, mountain pose. So feeling how strong and stable we are under those feet. Pressing like tree frogs. And then just imagine that you're trying to pull the mat apart. You'll notice that there's an engagement in the lower legs that you can feel all the way up into your transverse abdominis here, creating more of a stability in your core. Here we're going to enter into a few forward folds to loosen up through the hips, shoulders, and knees. Inhaling, reaching the arms skyward. Exhaling, swan diving forward. Inhaling all the way up. And exhaling. Continuing at your own pace. Matter if you don't touch your toes, you can bring your hands to your shins. But let the head relax completely, then let it come back up first as you exit the forward fold. Nice and slow. Let it match your inhale and exhale, the length of your breath. One more. Reaching for the sky and exhaling, bowing to the earth. Inhaling, reversing the swan dive, coming all the way back up. Let's exhale, coming into chair pose. Here we want to sit the hips way back rather than bringing the knees forward. You'll notice the difference immediately. So sit the hips way back like you're sitting in a chair that's out of reach. Arm options are to extend the arms with the shoulders away from the ears, or bring them into cactus or even prayer pose. Holding here, this feels like a lot of work, but again, we're building up the energy and the strength so that we can feel more solid. We're accessing that Muladhara root chakra. Good. Inhaling, reaching skyward. Chair flow, exhaling. Choosing whatever arm options work great for you. Press into the earth. Feel the strength of your own legs. Feel the strength of your own spirit. One more time, inhaling. And let's enter into a nice forward fold, exhaling, swan diving forward. And inhaling, reversing the swan dive, coming all the way up. Exhaling, releasing back into mountain pose. Really draw those shoulders down and back. Feel the heart space lifting. Feel plugged into the earth through your feet. Here, we're going to come into some standing postures. So you may want to remove the blanket from your mat. And you might want to have at least one block in front of you ready to be used. Okay, so it's an easy access. So we're going to start with the feet about hip distance apart. Feeling our way through Tadasana, strong like a mountain. Now from here, we're going to inhale, hands on the hips, and exhale, we're going to take that right leg and slide it back 3 to 4 feet as we plant the heel. And notice that the foot is about 30 to 45 degrees open, and we always maintain the hip width distance so that we can feel strong and stable. Extending the back leg, we're going to bend that front knee right over the ankle. Good, lengthening the tailbone so that there's a little bit more space here. And then inhaling, reaching the arms skyward, warrior one. And again, we have lots of arm options here. We can choose to extend, arms open wide, or hands at heart center. Good. Stay and breathe. 3 to 5 deep breaths. The warrior's strength is not a physical strength necessarily. It is a strength of spirit. It is the strength to remain true to who we are. Add a little bit of movement here. Inhaling, reaching the arms skyward. Exhale, drawing that divine wisdom down through the heart. And then folding forward, we bring the hands to the thigh, or we can come forward all the way to the earth. Inhaling, pressing into the back foot, reaching tall. Draw that wisdom down, honoring the earth. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhaling all the way up. And exhale, let's release the arms down by the sides. Preparing for pyramid pose. So from here, we're going to extend this front leg. As we do so, I want to caution you not to hyperextend or lock the knee. Always keep a small micro bend in the knee to protect the joint. Then we're going to take those hip bones and we're going to point them directly forward. Okay, this creates more stability in the root area, in our sacral area. From here, we're going to inhale nice and tall into that spine, into the heart space. Exhale, lengthening the spine forward. And let's grab that block, placing it on the inside of the foot in the high position to start. Both hands can rest onto the block. Keeping the spine lengthening forward, and we're tucking the chin, shining that light beam out from the crown of the head. Bring your awareness to that left hip. You're going to draw that left hip forward just a smidgen. You feel a little bit more space in that lower spine. Grounding down through both feet. Breathe deeply here. 3 to 5 deep breaths. Progress with these poses. If the invitation arises, you can move that block into a lower position, okay, or even to the floor. But your key is going to be when that top hip wants to roll open in order to give you more space. We've gone too far. Come back to a place where you can feel grounded in your sacrum. Good. Inhaling here, and on the exhale, bending that front knee. We're going to gently step forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhaling, reversing the swan dive all the way up. And exhaling, releasing the arms down by the side. Finding home base in Tadasana. Strong like a mountain. Unwavering in our faith. From here, we're going to inhale, placing the hands onto the hips. Taking that right leg straight back now, pressing that foot into the earth, and again, watching for alignment, stability before flexibility. Back foot is about 30 to 45 degrees open, and pressing down so that the arch begins to lift a little bit. Front knee begins to bend towards that ankle as we lengthen the tailbone, and inhaling, coming into our version of Warrior One. That might be with arms here, or with them open wide, like a cactus, or at heart center. Where do you feel inspired today? Breathe deeply into your version of Warrior One. Because you are strong, you belong, and you are supported fully in this your practice and in your life. exhaling here. Adding a little bit of flow, we're going to inhale, honoring the divine, and exhale, honoring the divine that flows through us. You bring those hands to the thigh or all the way to the earth. Pressing equally into both feet, we're going to press all the way up. Exhale. The divine flows through me. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling all the way up and exhaling, releasing the arms, preparing for pyramid pose. So again, we're lengthening that front leg, being mindful of the knee rather than hyperextending. We're keeping a small bend. Squaring both those hips forward. If you need to, take that back leg and step it forward, maybe just a foot length, so that you feel more strong and stable here. Squaring the hips. Inhaling, opening the heart wide to receive. Exhaling, lengthening forward. Find the block in that high position to start. Even if you know you can go further, just explore. What does it feel like if I pull back a little bit and start here? Drawing the crown of the head to point forward and bringing your awareness to that right hip as we gently draw it forward. Maybe just a ½ inch or so or less. Feeling strong and grounded here in our pyramid pose. Breathe deeply into it. One more deep breath in here. And exhale, bending that front knee and stepping forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhaling, reversing the swan dive, coming all the way up. And exhale, releasing Tadasana. Very nice. Pause here for a moment. It is in the spaces between the poses, and the spaces between the breath, that give us a glimpse into who we truly are. Now from here, I'm going to take a nice wide stance. We're going to start with the feet parallel to begin with. And we're going to inhale, coming into a nice deep forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Inhaling, opening the heart wide. Exhaling, hinging from the hips as we fold forward. If you have the block handy, you can grab that block and again, use that in any position. Hands right underneath the shoulders, okay? Pressing into the feet so that the arches lift. Exhale fully, coming into your fullest expression of wide-legged forward fold. Feel yourself grounding through both feet. Feel every exhale a release and a surrender into what is in this present moment. Inhaling, lifting the spine halfway, looking forward. We're going to bend those knees and gently press into the thighs as we come up all the way. Very nice. From here, we're going to come into our side warrior series. We're going to take that left foot and we're going to turn it open, okay, so that the feet create an L shape. From here, we're going to come into warrior two, bringing the hands to heart center. Inhaling here, and on the exhale, we're going to bend this front knee and press into the back foot as well, keeping the knee moving open rather than caving in on the arch, okay? So we keep it nice and open, breathing in deeply. Warrior two, feet. Inhaling here, and on the exhale, reaching the arms skyward, out to the side, okay? And relaxing the shoulders down and back. looking out over that hand if it's comfortable. Breathing fully here. We're opening the hips a little wider now. We're feeling more into that energy center, Muladhara. Really claiming our belongingness in this world. We are strong, and we are secure and fully supported. From here, we're going to add a little bit of movement. Inhaling here, and on the exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg and draw that energy back to the heart space. Inhaling, pressing it outward as we press into that knee, keeping it open. Exhale, drawing it back into the heart space. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Feel that energy rising. Now stay here. We're going to keep that leg extended, but again, small micro bend in the knee. Inhaling, reaching the arms open. Exhale, releasing the shoulders down. Inhale, we're going to reach out as far as we can. Let this back hip lift a little bit. When we can't go any further, then we're simply going to rotate those shoulders, starting with the hand right at the shin, right below the knee, rather than right on the knee. The top hand can reach upward or let it rest onto the lower spine as we keep this top shoulder rolling open. Triangle pose. Breathe deeply. Feel both feet really plugging into the earth here. And as the invitation arises, you might find that you go a little bit further, using the inner support here. Okay? Breathing fully. All the way back up, warrior two, and exhale, draw it back into center, and we're going to turn those feet parallel once again, moving to the other side, turning those toes open. Good. So keep in mind that the toes and the knees are facing forward, while the heart and the hips and everything else is facing to the side, facing me. Okay? So we take those hands at heart center, inhaling here, and exhaling, bending that front knee right over the ankle, keeping it moving open towards the middle toe side of the foot. Pressing equally into that back foot, the arch is lifting. Inhale, reaching the arms open. Exhale, letting the arms relax down. Breathing deeply here into warrior two. Feel the strength of your own spirit. It is an inner strength that you always possess. You simply have to be quiet enough and still enough to hear that silent roar. That is spirit moving in, around, and through you. And you have a knowingness that all is well and you are fully supported. Breathe in deeply. Exhaling. Let's add a little bit of flow here. Inhaling, reaching the arms back into the heart space. Exhaling, a little bit different breathing pattern now. Exhaling it out. Inhaling, drawing it into the heart space. Exhale, knee bends over that middle toe side of the foot. Feeling the hips opening. Feeling the hips strong, the legs strong. Exhale. Inhaling, drawing in that energy, and exhale. Good. Inhale, drawing it back to heart center, preparing for triangle pose. So again, micro bend in the knee. Inhaling, reaching the arms outward and rolling the shoulders down and back. Inhaling here, we're going to reach out as far as we can. Let the back hip lift. Exhale, rotate the shoulders. Come into your perfect expression of triangle pose. Okay? It's not important that we get to the earth. What's important is that we feel open, expansive, and strong in both legs and in the core. Breathe in. Let spirit shine and express through you, expanding beyond the boundaries of your body. Inhaling here, we're going to bend that front knee, and we're going to come all the way back up to Warrior Two. Good. Inhaling, drawing the hands back to heart center. Let's bring the feet parallel. Good. Let's come into one more forward fold. Bring the hands to the hips. We're going to inhale and exhale, pouring the spine forward into the crown of the head. Let it feel good. You may choose to bring the toes inward just a little bit more, feeling a lovely expansive stretch down the sides of the legs. Inhaling, lengthening the spine forward. And then gently, we're going to bend the knees and press all the way up. Good. Bringing the feet together, coming back into Tadasana. Mountain pose, feet about hip distance apart, shoulders rolling down and back. I want you to pause here for just a moment. Even close your eyes. And just happen to notice. Use this opportunity, the space between poses, to notice any of the subtle shifts in your body, your heart, and your mind. Good. And exhale. Now we're going to come into our balancing posture. We're going to come into tree pose. So I invite you, if you need to, come off the mat or next to a wall for additional support, feel free to do that. I'm going to let Toby help me with this pose today. He is doing sitting cat pose just perfectly. He's mastered that. But we're going to do tree pose, starting with the feet about hip distance apart. And we're going to find a focal point. It's called a dristi. And we find a focal point that's either on the floor or directly in front of us, that we can fix our gaze upon. Not a hard fixed gaze, but a softly fixed gaze on an immovable point. We're going to begin to shift our weight over to that left foot, and we're going to open up the right knee, placing the foot at the ankle. Pausing here for a moment, just feeling into it. Oftentimes, we rush into tree pose or any balancing pose. Let yourself feel rooted here first. And if the invitation arises, bring that foot a little higher, maybe just below the knee. You never want it right on the knee. It's either below the knee or above the knee. Now, the trick is here to feel that rootedness. Press the foot into the leg, and the leg presses into the foot. Okay, squeezing, using those inner thighs, drawing the root energy all the way up, and then expanding the arms, blooming into your expression of tree pose. And slowly exhale, releasing, stepping softly upon the earth. Feel supported once again. Readjusting the feet, the roots, plugging into the earth. Finding that focal point once again. Let's move into tree on the other side. Shifting the weight over to the opposite leg. Opening that knee. And pausing here for a moment. This may be where you choose to stay, and that's great. Breathe into it. Each side is different. Each day is going to be different. As we feel into it and hear and listen for the invitation, we might choose to come to our perfect expression of tree pose. Arms can be extended, cactus, prayer, or even out to the sides. Breathe deeply. There are so many different trees in the forest. That's what makes it beautiful. Let your breath flow evenly. And exhale, releasing. Bring the feet back down into Tadasana. Now, depending on where you're standing, I'm going to move to the top of my mat. Let's make sure that we've made our way there as we gently transition to floor poses. So we're going to inhale, reaching the arms skyward, and exhale, swan diving forward. Nice deep knee bend. From here, we're going to step back into all fours. And from here, we're going to come into a nice kneeling lunge. So if you need to use the blanket underneath your knees, feel free to do that. From here, we're going to take that left foot forward. Oops. And we're going to make sure that that knee is right over the ankle. Okay, so that may mean we have to walk that back knee back a little bit. Gently staying here. We can also use the block as an additional support. Or if we feel the invitation, we can bring the hands to the thighs, gently coming upward. Now the tendency is for the tailbone to lift back. Let's keep that tailbone lengthening down towards the earth. Feel that magnetic pull. Choosing to stay here or inhaling one or both arms skyward. Crescent lunge. Breathing here. Here we're really opening up the hip flexors that run over the top of the hip. These get really, really tight when we sit for long periods of time and can affect our ability to move freely in this world. So we're breathing into them, letting Mother Earth gently coax them open. And exhale, releasing. Bring the hands to the earth. We're gently going to pull the hips backward, rolling onto that front heel. Okay? There can be as much of a knee bend as you need, but think about lengthening the heart center forward towards the toes. Okay? Draw the toes back towards you and feel that nice lengthening stretch in the back of the legs. You can also, again, here choose to use a block to give you a little bit more space and a little bit more stability. Gently, feeling yourself getting closer to the earth, feeling the rhythm of your energy beginning to slow down in pulsation with the ancient rhythms of this Mother Earth. Now gently drawing forward into that lunge, and we're going to switch sides, bringing that foot behind, and then bring the opposite leg forward. Okay? So here, once again, drawing that knee right over the ankle, drawing the back knee back. We can choose to stay here using either one of the blocks, or again, we can choose to bring the hands to the thigh, lengthening the tailbone. And then if the invitation is there and we feel a little bit more sensation is warranted, we can begin to lift one or both arms. Breathe deeply. Honor where you are. This tends to be the area that we retreat to when we draw our knees into the chest. That is a pain reflex. So when we begin to open these up, we begin to unearth some of those feelings that we haven't really addressed. So if you find that you're teary-eyed or that there's some discomfort there emotionally, stay with it for just a little bit. It's coming up to be healed to the light. Breathe fully, knowing that you are strong and stable, you are secure, you are supported always and in all ways. Inhaling and exhaling, drawing forward. Getting ready to shift the hips back. So we're going to draw the hips back, rolling onto that front heel. Once again, using the block as additional support as needed, keeping the knees slightly bent. Breathe here. Feel your heart lengthening, offering it to your toes as if you were bowing down and offering your greatest gift at the altar of yourself. Inhaling, drawing forward, and then coming back to all fours, just for a moment. And then we're going to swing those legs out and around in front, coming to sit. And I invite you to use a blanket for additional cushioning and to help lift the hips a little higher than your knees. So from here, we're going to take the legs into a nice wide-legged formation, seated wide-legged forward fold. Now, if you're like me and the inner thighs are a little tight, it's going to draw your pelvis under. So give yourself a little shift, almost to the edge of your blanket, so that you can feel like it pulls your sacrum out from under you and sitting up nice and tall. We might choose to stay here with the hands out to the sides. Or, if the invitation is there, we might choose to offer the heart forward into the space there in between. Tucking the chin, letting the head and neck relax, pausing here. Every exhale we begin to feel, as we extend that exhale, that we can go maybe a little bit deeper into the posture. Without force or strain, inhaling, slowly drawing back up nice and tall. We're going to draw the soles of the feet together, gently pulling up with your hands for additional support. Bring the soles of the feet together wherever they may land. Okay? And then from here, we're going to gently contract the glutes to open up the knees. Hands can rest on the ankles as we gently lift the spine, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, and tuck that chin just a little bit. Feel what a nice stretch that is in the back of the neck. Grounding down through the hips with each exhale. We can choose to stay here, seated upright, or inhaling and exhaling. We're going to slowly lengthen forward, drawing the shoulders and the elbows back. Breathing fully, again without force or strain. Notice where you feel the opening, the stretching. nice seated position, spine is tall. We're gonna have a little fun here working on core as well as being grounded in this posture. We're gonna come into wide-legged big toe hold. You'll see what I'm talking about. So we're first gonna draw those knees up just a little bit, and we're gonna take our 2 fingers, index and middle finger, and wrap them around the big toe, but now press the big toe into the fingers. This is called the yogi toe hold, okay? It's a toe lock. So now from here, we're gonna gently roll back onto the sits bones, okay? Keep the heart lifting. That's the trick to any of these core exercises here. Keep the heart lifting, and then we might begin to extend one foot, or maybe the other. Keep the heart lifting, keep pressing energetically out through the heels. Feel your core engaged here as you fold inward and upward. Heart is shining forward. You are supported here. It's okay, you're close to the earth. Even if you wobble and you fall over just a little bit, the earth is soft. It will catch you. It's okay. Let yourself wobble a little bit. That's part of the yoga practice. Good. Breathing in deeply here. And exhale, slowly coming back down. Nice job. Isn't that a lot of fun? All right. In some circles, they call that wind relieving pose. If that happened to you, I promise not to say anything to anybody. It'll be our secret. All right. So now from here, we're going to draw those knees up, and we're going to turn to the side, and we're going to prepare to come down onto our backs. So the safest way to do this is to grab behind the thigh and gently roll back onto your back, knees to chest. Oh, doesn't that feel nice? Let your spine completely surrender into the earth. Maybe rocking side to side. Little back massage here. Good. Now from here, we're going to gently plant the feet down, about hip distance apart. Okay, bringing the feet as close to the buttocks as we can. We're going to draw the arms alongside the body, palms facing downward. Now here, draw your awareness to the shoulders. Draw the shoulders down and underneath so that you provide a nice base of support underneath the shoulders. Okay. Now the key here with bridge is not to turn and look at me. Just listen to my voice. We're going to inhale here, and on the exhale, we're going to press into the feet and lift the hips up into the air, maybe walking the shoulders underneath us a little bit more. There should be space between the back of the neck and the mat, lengthening the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. And imagine that you're squeezing a beach ball between your knees. Feel strong. We're building a heart bridge between our human and highest selves. Breathe fully. Inhaling here, and on the exhale, slowly lowering down, one vertebrae at a time. Let yourself rest here. Pause and be a witness to whatever you're experiencing, honoring it, cherishing it, feeling the support of the earth cradling you. That one more time. So inhaling here, exhaling, pressing into the feet and into the shoulders. Lift. If you feel the invitation, you can walk those hands underneath, clasping the hands together and pressing the length of the arms into the earth. But again, nothing with strain. We want to feel that we're working, we're building our strength. We do not want to feel pain. Full deep breathing, draw it right up underneath the sternum where your heart lies, and call to mind something you're very grateful for. Breathe into that energy, and exhale, slowly releasing, one vertebrae at a time, coming back down, melting into the earth. Maybe even placing your hands onto your belly and feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath. From here, we're going to open up those hips just a little bit more. We're going to take that right leg and extend it straight up to the sky, pressing out through the heel. And then we're going to take that foot and place it just above the opposite knee as we roll open that right knee. This is also sometimes called supine pigeon or figure 4 stretch. So you might choose to stay here. This is deeply stretching underneath the hips here. Or if we want a little bit more sensation, we can draw that left knee into the chest, grabbing gently behind the thigh or around the shin. But let's not compress the knee too much. Let the shoulders relax down and back. Breathe fully. Let all that tension melt away. Gently releasing both feet back down onto the floor. Pausing for a moment as we switch sides, extending that left leg straight up to the sky. Heel presses energy upward, and then bring that foot to the opposite knee, opening the left knee out. Choosing to stay here on this side, or gently drawing that right knee towards the chest. Both feet back down onto the earth. Pausing for a moment. Let's come into a gentle supine twist, bringing the arms nice and wide. Bringing the knees right above the hips so that they're in a 90-degree angle. Inhaling here, and on the exhale, drawing the knees over to the left while we turn and gaze in the opposite direction. Maybe even closing the eyes here. Let the exhale help you to release fully into the twist. Bringing yourself out of any residual tension that you might experience. Drawing the knees back to center. And then exhale, allowing the knees to float over to the other side. Breathing fully here. Let your exhale draw you deeper into the wisdom of your own self. body stretch. Legs extend out, arms overhead. Breathe into every sacred space in your body. And exhale, let the arms float down by the sides, coming into final relaxation, Shavasana. Let your breath rise and fall. Elongating the inhale and exhale. And let it draw you inward. You can stay here as long as you like. Take your time, breathing into where you are now, bringing your awareness back into your fingers and toes as you gently wiggle them awake. Perhaps letting that breath move through you, stretching you a little bit more, deepening your breath and your awareness of this sacred body, this sacred life. Taking your time, gently draw the knees in towards the chest, rolling over onto one side and resting here for a moment, resisting the urge to move too quickly into the next moment, into the next thing we must do. And as we're ready, gently pressing up to a comfortable seated position, as we bring our hands to heart center and take our yoga off the mat and into our daily lives, let us be reminded by the effort of our own body and our own mind that we are strong. We are stronger than we can ever imagine, and that the universe and the earth supports us in every endeavor. And may the highest light and love in me honor and recognize the highest light and love in you. And when we come together, may we know that we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me and Toby, and we hope to see you again next time. Have a great day.